Welcome. My name is Eric Willett, and I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Microsoft, responsible for data loss prevention. Today, I have the pleasure and honor to have Tony Tamelis, Lead PM, and Ruchi Chopra, Lead PM in the Microsoft Information Protection team, joining me in this session, Supercharge Information Protection and Governance across cloud, on-premises, endpoint, and remote work environments. In this session, we'll cover the challenges impacting information protection and how Microsoft Information Protection and Governance uniquely solves these challenges. Starting off, there are two significant factors impacting organizations. One is the exponential growth in data, and two is the massive proliferation of places that users consume, store, and share sensitive data. These are big challenges to overcome. And on top of that, organizations have deep obligations to protect the sensitive information that workers share across all of these environments. Add to this the current era of extended remote work scenarios, and the situation is not getting easier. In fact, organizations express deep concerns over their ability to successfully navigate and address these challenges. In our time together, we'll take a look at how one organization is currently successfully doing so, and how they are adapting their existing solutions to support a new and more complex use case. Here we have an overview of the organization and their current data collaboration, sharing, and protection needs. Specifically, they're using Microsoft Information Protection to identify and label their regulatory compliance data, and have put in place controls in Exchange, SharePoint, and OneDrive to prevent data loss. Their requirements have been modest so far, and they're not using the full array of capabilities available to them, hence why you see Know Your Data, Protect Your Data, and Prevent Data Loss in a shaded color. Even in this configuration, they can create reports on their compliance posture for their senior leadership and board, and they're very happy with the compliance and prevention results so far. Now, the company is looking to expand their deployment to support a new initiative and to support new workflows. Let's take a look at their desired state. The organization is now implementing teams to support new collaborations between users, and they also want to extend their existing data loss prevention deployment beyond their existing regulatory compliance requirements. Specifically, they have a new initiative to support, a new top secret project called Project Obsidian, and it comes with its own unique set of security, compliance, and governance requirements, and also new environments to support. Let's take a closer look. In this initiative, they need to share the sensitive data between internal users, external engineering partners, a patent firm, and other contributing parties across many different platforms, some internal and some external. One of the main goals they have is to ensure the consistency of protection and data loss prevention across these disparate environments, while supporting existing workflows and common experiences that users are familiar with. This way, they can avoid having to retrain users, and they can curtail any potential impacts to their productivity. To achieve this desired state, they will dig deeper in the capabilities available to them in Microsoft Information Protection. Specifically, they will use new capabilities to more quickly and automatically identify sensitive data. They also have a need to consistently protect sensitive information across native and third-party environments. For this, they will deploy enhanced protection capabilities using data loss prevention to consistently protect sensitive information across all the workloads, both internal and external. Lastly, they also have newly identified information governance and retention mandates to support Project Obsidian, in part to address possible future patent challenges, and also to remain compliant with contractual obligations between them and their partners. They chose Microsoft Information Protection in part because of the familiar experience it provides their users. Even as new capabilities are introduced, they follow the same look and feel users are already accustomed to. In addition, the solution provided by Microsoft Information Protection are native to the applications and services that their users use every day. This means there's no need to deploy dedicated agents, plugins, or other infrastructures to add new features, or to build out separate complex management and reporting systems, thereby reducing the overall complexity, burden, cost on their administrative staff. Let's take a closer look at how this organization will leverage all of these new capabilities, starting with Microsoft Information Protection. For this, I would like to invite Tony Tamelis to help us understand how this organization can get started. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Eric.
You know what, Tony? I really like this tagline. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Sure, Eric. Let me elaborate on some of the key benefits of using Microsoft Information Protection. When we say built-in, we mean that the protection experience is integrated into the apps and services that users are already familiar with. Not just Office apps, but also Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive, and Power BI. This means that there is no additional plugin to be deployed, kept up to date, and managed. Also important to note, Microsoft Information Protection is a comprehensive and yet unified solution. This means that no matter what data location you are looking to protect or prevent data loss, whether it is Teams or on-premises, you go to the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center to create and deploy a policy consistently across these locations, all from one place.
Tony, that's great. Now, coming back to this organization's context, we know that in the current state, this organization has had success protecting sensitive regulatory compliance data. Can you help us better understand how they achieved this?
Well, Eric, this organization started off using the 100+ sensitive info types that are built into Microsoft Information Protection out of the box. Just like all growing organizations, they now have a need to address new and more complex compliance use cases with better accuracy and broader coverage. To better help them, we are excited to announce today the worldwide availability of 45 new and 11 improved sensitive information types, covering key regulations in the Asia-Pacific and Europe regions. And even more will be rolling out in a phased manner over the next few months. Many of these sensitive info types are mapped directly to industry and geographic regulations, so customers can quickly identify the ones they need.
Now, for their desired state, they'll need to go beyond just typical regulatory compliance classifiers to protect this Project Obsidian. How can they do that, Tony?
In this case, for Project Obsidian, this organization started by creating their own custom sensitive info type definitions using techniques like regular expressions, keywords, and advanced techniques like exact data matching to accurately identify their data. Now let's take a look at how they took this initial first step to create a fully integrated and unified information protection experience. As noted before, the organization created a custom sensitive information type for Project Obsidian. What you see here is Content Explorer. It shows all files that match the Project Obsidian sensitive information type. Sensitivity labels are used to classify email messages, documents, and slides. The organization decided to add a new highly confidential label to their information labeling taxonomy, and they associated the sensitive information type, Project Obsidian, with the label highly confidential. Here we see the settings for the label. The label name and other descriptive details have been added. The organization decided to configure encryption and content marking, such as footers, for all files matching this label. They set documents that match Project Obsidian content to auto-apply the label in Office apps. This feature has been available for Office apps on the web, and we're excited to announce that it is rolling out as a built-in feature for Office apps on Windows in the current channel at Ignite. Automatic labeling in Office apps ensures that labels are consistently applied no matter how much or how little experience individual users have with different types of sensitive content. Auto-labeling helps you scale your data protection plans. Let's take a look at how a user would experience this. Here is an example Word document that a user is editing and where the highly confidential label has been automatically applied. Notice how the user is informed of this with a policy tip that is integrated with the app experience. And here is an example of a user opening an encrypted, highly confidential PDF file in the new Microsoft Edge browser. The encryption ensures that only authorized users can access the sensitive information. Just like with Office apps, this is an integrated experience in the Edge browser. In the previous slides, we saw how the organization defined the label and automatically applied or recommended it as users interact with Office apps. Next, the organization decided to apply this label to files stored in SharePoint and OneDrive and to emails being sent in Exchange. They created a new policy using the custom Project Obsidian information type. They assigned this policy to apply the highly confidential label to files and emails that match Project Obsidian. At this point, they simulated the impact of this policy to make sure that it accurately detected files and emails related to Project Obsidian. I want to pause here to share our rationale for building Policy Simulator. It provides insight into policy effectiveness and enables customers to simulate the impact and gain confidence in the accuracy of their policy with real data and no impact on end users until the policy is published. This page is an overview of the simulation results. It shows the number of matched items by location and rule. As you can see here, they were able to review and validate that the sensitive information types detected matched their content in SharePoint, OneDrive, and Exchange. By fine-tuning the policy during the simulation phase, they gained confidence in the labeling accuracy across locations before enforcing the policy. After rolling out the policy, they were able to go to the overview page and get insights into recent classification trends. Here they see the list of top sensitive information types like Project Obsidian, labels applied like highly confidential, and the list of locations, for example, SharePoint, where those labels were applied. Now let's take a look at their user experience. As users interact with files in SharePoint, they can see that sensitive documents they interact with have been auto-classified and labeled according to policy. And after all of this, let's not forget that users can also manually apply sensitivity labels. Manual labeling is natively available in Office apps on Mac, iOS, Android, Windows, and web. And it looks and feels the same everywhere. So users have a consistent experience, no add-ins required.
Thank you, Tony. That was great. Looks like we have a solid foundation for our information protection and governance initiative. So let's recap what we did so far. With Microsoft Information Protection, we created sensitivity labels for content related to Project Obsidian. And users have a consistent and built-in experiences across Microsoft 365 apps so they can remain productive, secure, and compliant, no matter how or where they work. The policies and labels are built in across Office apps and Microsoft Teams, and they work cross-platforms across Windows, Mac, and mobile. The experiences are powered by an intelligent and automated classification service that has advanced capabilities such as exact data match and machine learning. And the policies, such as encryption, go across a comprehensive set of workloads and file types, and they are unified within the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center. So let's recap the exciting Microsoft Information Protection announcements at Ignite. So first off is the general availability of 45 new and 11 improved sensitive information types that enable customers to meet more regulatory needs and at higher accuracy. 2 is the general availability of built-in automatic labeling for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook apps on Windows to help customers scale their data protection plans. 3, as shared before, Microsoft Information Protection enables you to protect your sensitive information on premises too. We're now announcing the public preview of this capability that further enhances the value from our on-premise scanner by automatically mapping your on-premises file shares and identifying overexposed file shares. And 4, the general availability of double key encryption to help organizations with highly regulated industries to protect mission-critical data. While this is a small volume of their overall data, it is highly valued and needs special attention and protection. Lastly, you might not realize that Microsoft Information Protection is not limited to just Microsoft products. In fact, over 200 partners across 7 industry verticals leverage Microsoft Information Protection to enhance content protection and compliance solutions to better serve customer needs. Now we'll take a closer look at how we can leverage the information classification and labeling that we just created to prevent data loss from unintentional and intentional actions. I would like to invite Ruchi to help us understand how this organization will go about doing this. Hi, Ruchi.
Hey, Eric. Let me start by highlighting a couple of key areas of focus for Microsoft ELP. First, we recognize the challenges posed by today's distributed heterogeneous workplace and the fact that your data resides across a variety of apps and services, both on premises and in the cloud. And as Tony mentioned, a key focus for us is a comprehensive solution that works across the various devices and services where your sensitive data lives. This includes environments and platforms that are native to Microsoft and also non-Microsoft services and apps. The second focus of our DLP solution is to offer a unified admin experience and integrated end-user experiences.
So thank you, Ruchi. That was a great overview. I know with traditional DLP solutions, getting started is a complex affair. You have to buy and deploy and maintain lots of dedicated agents, plugins, and other infrastructures just to add new features. And then you have to build out separate complex management reporting systems, increasing the overall complexity, the burden and cost of their administrative staff. So is it the same with Microsoft DLP?
I'm glad you asked. Microsoft DLP is a lot easier to start with. So Microsoft DLP is a cloud-native solution. No expensive on-prem infrastructure to buy, deploy, and maintain. Just lightweight configuration in the compliance center and you're all set. And what's more, before you create your first policy, you get out-of-the-box optics into what sensitive data you have in your organization and how users are interacting with it and how they're sharing it, which then guide you to create the right policies to protect that data.
So I remember one of the biggest issues in DLP event investigation is the volume of events typically generated by DLP solutions. How does that work with Microsoft DLP?
Microsoft's approach to streamline this effort is firstly to help you identify the right incidents to focus on. Secondly, for effective investigation, we surface all the information you need to quickly determine the cause of a DLP incident and the best course of action.
This looks great. So where do we start, Ruchi?
Let me show you with a quick demo. This is the starting point for creating a DLP policy, the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center. I'm logged in as admin for Coso, and as you can see, I already have a couple of policies to protect US financial data and GDPR. Let's create a new DLP policy for Project Obsidian. And we're going to do this by clicking Create Policy, and that will take us to the next step. We're going to choose Custom here because Project Obsidian is proprietary to the organization. Here we enter some basic information, name and description for the DLP policy that we wish to create. This is to decide where the policy will be implemented. As you can see, it's a long list. We have coverage for Exchange email, SharePoint sites, OneDrive accounts, Teams chat and channel messages. And as some of you have noticed, there are two exciting recent additions to the list. Devices, which represents endpoints such as Windows 10, and Microsoft Cloud App Security, or MCAS, which supports extending the policy to non-Microsoft apps. Now, for each of these locations, you can further scope down the policy to specific groups or sites or accounts or instances. And we're going to click it to choose instance for MCAS. And as you can see here, we're listing all the apps managed by Cloud App Security. And the admin can choose which ones they want to apply the policy to. We're going to click Done. And next, it takes us to the policy settings page. Here, we're going to create a custom DLP policy for Project Obsidian. And so we're going to select the second option, customize the advanced DLP rules. And on the next screen, we're going to choose to protect information with when it is being shared outside of the organization. And in the next step, I'm going to select the kind of data that I want to apply the policy to. Now, remember, the goal of the policy is to protect Project Obsidian data. In this case, I've already created an auto-labeling policy following Tony's instructions, and that policy has discovered and labeled all the Project Obsidian data in my organization, thereby doing all the heavy lifting. All I have to do here is use that label directly as a condition in my policy. And then the next step is for me to define the kinds of protection actions. Here, I can choose to notify my users through in-app policy tips, through email. I can choose to protect data by encrypting it or by restricting access. Now, I can also customize the content of the notifications that the users receive, thereby giving them additional context and guidance. Now, for the endpoint, we can customize the enforcement actions by activity. For instance, access by unallowed browsers or apps, copy to clipboard, USB or network share, print, etc. And for each of them, I can choose to either just monitor or block the action, or block but allow the user to override, balancing security and productivity. For third-party apps, we can also define a series of policy enforcements that are specific to the app.
This looks like we have everything configured now. Is there a way that we can test this policy to make sure that it's actually doing what we intended to do?
Yes. In fact, I do have the option to test the policy and monitor it for a while. And then once I'm comfortable that I have the right settings, I can come back and turn it on. And that's what I'm going to do next. This is where the organization can review the policy created and then hit submit. And now your policy has been deployed.
So this is great. How would a user experience data loss prevention in their day-to-day activities?
Here we see a user attempting to share a file that has Project Obsidian data with an external user in Teams. Now, Teams has enforced the DLP policy and is showing this alert, which tells the user that their action was blocked and why. It's a familiar look and feel, and users are already accustomed to this experience, so no additional training required. Next, what we're going to see is that a user has a Project Obsidian file open in Word. They attempted to copy some of that content, and Windows detected that copy action and enforced the DLP policy right there. Again, surfacing a familiar alert to the user. Next, we're going to see that a user was attempting to copy a few Project Obsidian files onto a USB drive. Once again, Windows detected that action and enforced the DLP policy, and the user got another familiar alert, which helped them understand that this action was not allowed. Now, here, we see a user trying to copy a Project Obsidian file into Dropbox in Edge. This time, it's Edge that has detected this action and enforced the DLP policy. Again, surfacing a familiar native Edge alert to the user. And lastly, we have a user who's on their mobile device attempting to share a Project Obsidian file with an external website. This time, MCAS scans the file and again detects the action and enforces the DLP policy. Since the file is not externally shareable by policy, MCAS will remove the link and send an email notification to the user informing them that this external collaborator has been removed because of organizational policy. Again, this notification is a familiar experience for the user and aligned with the experiences that they're already used to. Back to the admin, and now that the policy has been deployed for a while, the admin starts to see optics into how the policy is doing. And with that, Eric, it's back to you.
Thank you, Ruchi. That was great. So let's recap the exciting Microsoft data loss prevention announcements at Ignite. Endpoint DLP is in public preview. Endpoint DLP provides native, fully built-in DLP capabilities to Windows 10, Office apps, and Microsoft Edge to prevent risky or inappropriate sharing, transfer, or use of sensitive data across applications and services. Endpoint DLP simplifies deployment scenarios for customers by eliminating the need to install, manage, or update dedicated endpoint agents just to support DLP capabilities for a broad set of use cases. Today, we announced the extension of Microsoft Data Loss Prevention to Microsoft Cloud App Security. In this new capability, now in public preview, it extends the integration of Microsoft DLP to policy-based content inspection across connected applications, such as Dropbox, Box, Google Drive, WebEx, OneDrive, SharePoint, and others, to help users remain continuously compliant when using popular native and third-party applications. Sensitivity labels as a condition for DLP rules is also in public preview and allows organizations to refine policy creation. There's more news in data loss prevention, and you can learn more at the link above. So let's recap what we did so far. The organization needed to support a new initiative and extend their existing security compliance and governance capabilities across new environments and across many new platforms, some internal and some external. They leveraged Microsoft Information Protection and Microsoft Data Loss Prevention in a big part because of the familiar experience it provided to their users. Even as new capabilities were introduced, they followed the same look and feel users were already accustomed to. They were able to ensure consistency in protecting sensitive content across very different workloads and were able to provide a unified alerting and remediation experience. Lastly, the solution provided were native to the applications and services their users use every day, meaning there was no need to deploy dedicated agents, plugins, or other infrastructures to add new features or to build out separate complex management and reporting systems, thereby reducing the overall complexity burden, and cost on their administrative staff. But we're not quite done yet. There's one more thing we need to do. As you will remember, one of the important controls this organization wanted to implement was to set up a governance and records retention policy for Project Obsidian to address possible future patent challenges and to also remain compliant with contractual obligations between them and their partners. So let's take a closer look at how they will do this using Microsoft Information Governance. Microsoft Information Governance provides 4 key capabilities. In-place management enables companies to retain information and manage records where data is created to prevent productivity loss and reduce operational and legal risks. And it's not just for Microsoft 365 data. The pre-built data connectors help you govern data beyond Microsoft Cloud. Automated policies leverage various auto-classification capabilities like machine learning, powered classifiers to classify and govern data at scale. And defendable processes provide you with the proof of disposal and disposition views with rich audit trails to help you demonstrate compliance. So keep only what you need and delete what you don't to reduce the risks of liability. Lastly, leverage the records management solution to help meet record-keeping obligations. So let's show you one of the key highlights we announced at Ignite this year. With the public preview of regulatory record labels, organizations can meet stringent records immutability requirements so no user or admin can change the label, edit, or delete the document after it has been applied. You can easily configure the policy in Microsoft 365 Compliance Center, selecting the retention period and the action you want to trigger after reaching the end of the retention period. Users can easily apply the label policy where they collaborate. For organizations, they can apply the Project Obsidian data label in the SharePoint site. Once regulatory compliance labels has been applied to the document, you can see that the editing button is grayed out immediately. No one can edit the content or the metadata or move the items outside of the SharePoint site. The regulatory records label can help organizations meet SEC 17A-4 and FINRA requirements. If you're an organization heavily invested in SharePoint, you will love this new announcement. Microsoft's new knowledge solution, Project Cortex, will be generally available for customers in October, and we are thrilled to announce its integration with Microsoft Information Governance. You can easily apply retention label to enforce governance policies automatically, leveraging the document classification in Project Cortex for dual purposes, business process and compliance. There is more news in information governance and records management, including the new feedback loop to help you improve classification performance for trainable classifiers, and retention policies for Yammer and Teams recordings. You can learn more at the link above. In closing, just a few thoughts I wanted to leave with you. Your data is growing at exponential rates, and it's everywhere. Identifying, protecting, and governing your sensitive data requires a tightly integrated set of solutions that work together and provide users with a common experience that they are already familiar with to minimize impacts of productivity and enhance compliance. I've included some links that you might find useful. Feel free to come back or pause here to access these resources. And on behalf of the entire Microsoft Information Protection team, I want to thank all of you for joining us in this session. We'd love to hear from you, so do reach out on Yammer. And don't forget, we have lots of great content to help you learn much, much more about Microsoft solutions. And don't be shy, check them out. Thank you, and stay safe, everyone.